Yes.
Bogdanov, idiot.
Billboard.
You went to all in.
Dumpy. No! No!
You heard it here first. Bitcoin is going to zero. When it comes out, zero.
Just hodl, bro.
Welcome to the TGH Podcast. Today we resume inviting influencers on so we can find out how they're finding their way through the space, the mistakes they've made and the lessons they've learned. Thank you for coming today, Marta.
Hi, thanks for having me. Absolutely delighted to be here.
No problem. Thank you for coming on today. I can't wait to find out more information about yourself. You've made quite a name for yourself. Considering you've been in the space now, what is it, just over a year?
Yeah, short of a year and a half, I think, at this point.
Year and a half.
Yeah.
And considering now you've got nearly 70,000 followers on Twitter, you've got a huge following, you've got a massive sort of side hustle that you're building here now. You've done really well for yourself. So before we actually get into that, finding out how you've built this kind of following and this community, you've got a big community. I'd love to know more about you so people can understand where you actually came from. What were you doing before crypto? What was your kind of story? Give us an introduction to Marta. Who are you?
Probably it's gonna probably sound boring, but I worked in retail my entire life. I think it was like my dream. Maybe when I was a little girl, you know, I used to play shop and like sell things. Basically, that became my life. I worked in many shops, but I was hoping to make a career out of it actually as well. But sorry, I'm lying. The first thing I actually wanted to do was become a teacher.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is that from a young age then? Is that like your childhood dream to become a teacher?
I don't know, was it a dream, but it was some aspiration at some point, you know. I loved, I just wanted to, I don't know, just be a teacher, I suppose. And I did do go to school that was, you know, directing me that way.
No, I get it. Yeah.
But my life just took a spin. I moved to Ireland. I didn't finish the school at all.
Oh yeah. Let me just ask you, sorry there, because you're not from Ireland originally, are you? So where are you from then originally?
So I'm born and bred in Poland, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I moved to Ireland in 2005. So
wow, I didn't realise that because even though we all now say, "Oh yeah, she's Irish," you can tell. You can tell, can't you? That obviously the accent is a little bit off there. And I'm like, sometimes I think, yeah, where is she from actually?
Yeah, I've this a little bit of twang when I talk too much and I get asked this. I usually gonna get stutter and you can hear the accent.
I'm the same. I'm the same. I'm actually from Liverpool originally. My family's from Liverpool. And well, I try to lose the accent. I lose the accent.
I love that accent.
If I talk really fast in my native accent, then I start stuttering, and because it's a really fast accent as well. And I think
should we listen to you so now, Adam? For the night.
No,
it's
I
one
love
of
it.
my favorite accents: Scottish, Scouser, and Irish accent is.
They're similar, aren't they? In a way,
Yeah.
they're kind of similar.
Yeah,
So-
but the tongue.
So you moved to Ireland from Poland, and 2005, and then you kind of just plodded on, and then so how did you actually find crypto? How did you find out about crypto?
Again, funny story. You know, it was during the lockdown. I suppose we were all like just bored. There was nowhere to go, nothing to do. And everybody was living at the time, you know, with everything, all the controversy. And I think the Trump was a very big thing that was happening at the time. And I just out of boredom went online, came back to because my Twitter, actually, I have my Twitter, Les. I'm a dinosaur on Twitter, and
Oh,
my
you are, aren't you? Actually, yeah.
yeah,
You're
it's
really early, aren't you?
2008, I think. Like,
Yeah, I
so,
remember seeing that. I thought I was
yeah,
early. I was 2012, I think I was. I was like, I'm the earliest. Like, people are like,
yeah.
it's really early, yeah.
And because I kind of got sick of like Facebook was just it moved on completely from it. I'm too old for TikTok, and Instagram was okay, but I was also getting bored, so I went back to Twitter, met few people, and I connected with this girl from UK. She was the one, and she's much older than me. She was the one who and actually, sorry, let me tell you as well, because it was the time of GameStop, and when they were trying to short squeeze it, it was this whole big, it was all over the news, in the media.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
this
did that bring some exposure to crypto?
that's it.
Is
I
that
even
it?
bought
Oh,
stocks. I bought stocks at the time. I didn't buy GameStop, but I bought AMC, because the rumor had it that they're going to do the same thing with the
AMC.
cinemas, AMC. So I bought it, and it was my friend, and she was pushing me to it. She was showing me everything. Like, she was literally like 24/7 in crypto, and I was like, okay, I'll do it with you as well. And I had no interest. I had no interest at the start. None.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
pretty much like, just like, okay, look, well, whatever. I'll put a whatever €100.
So what actually happened then for you what piqued your interest? Like, what was it that sparked that interest in crypto? Because you're really non-stop, aren't you?
Yeah, I think, there was like this moment where there was a moment where a switch turned 100%, because I even started like thinking about, well, hold on a second, cryptocurrency. I definitely heard of it before. And then kind of clicked with me that I had a friend on Facebook who was talking about, and I reached out to her, and then she said, look, I'm in this academy, and then I looked at the prices of the academy, and I was like, oh Jesus, I'm not paying that much money for that stuff. And I said, look, she can do it.
Yeah.
And she is a mom just like me.
Yeah.
She's like, obviously my always all-time goal was to have as much time as possible to do my own thing and be at home, not be like a slave to the system.
Love it. That was
And
my similar thinking. And the funny thing is, what you just said then is you looked at her and you
yeah,
said to yourself, if she can do it, I can do it. And do you know what's funny? That's exactly what happened with me. I had a really good friend who made he made millions in 2017 and didn't tell me about any of this, and I was furious. And I said it was late 2017, and I said, if he can do it, I can do it. And that's what drove me. And that's what I want people to understand who are watching this, is that this is pure perspective. And what you just said then is exactly the same as what gave me that perspective. And so if someone else is watching this now and needs a little bit of perspective, and use that, if they can do it, I can do it. It's true, isn't it?
And like that was definitely like that switch. And then more came as I started like getting more interested in the whole scene and discovering like YouTube influencers and traders. And I was very lucky, because every person I followed on social media, they were really like technical, and like they were showing crypto from that right side. I didn't start with neither Mooncarl or BitBoy. I actually I didn't hear about them till I was well into crypto. And I was like, okay, well,
how lucky are you? Because they're the kind of people who would kind of drift you off course, and a lot of people are unlucky because they kind of get caught up with what Mooncar and BitBoy and all these other bigger influencers. They're not as involved, are they? Like on a one-to-one level, they're just covering the general thesis and the overall kind of the bigger kind of picture. They're not looking at what you have to do as a person to survive.
I think they're like an equivalent to an entertainment industry.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. So they are more Yeah, I understand what you're saying there, and that doesn't help, does it, when you're first starting off? And
No,
yeah, I understand that now. Yeah,
I suppose credit, give credit when credit is due, because at the same time, okay, they obviously bring a lot of people in and they're exposing,
yeah.
but it's definitely, if you're talking about becoming a serious trader, I have to say I definitely was lucky not to start on that side of the crypto space.
But I understand what you're saying with give credit where credit is due, because they do bring a lot of normies into the space, and then
Yeah.
from there, people can obviously say, right, it's not working, I'm going to go elsewhere. Yeah, I love that, and I was kind of lucky in the same sense that the friend that I was telling you about from 2017 wouldn't help me, but what he did say was, go on Twitter and follow all the people I'm following, and from that, I got to understand who the OG, the real OG, who were on that ground level, operating that are operating on the same level as what I would be, and I learned by just watching them and what they were doing. So I was going to ask you what were some of the first steps that you took when you entered the space, but you've kind of just answered that. So what I was going to ask next was, so from this, what kind of investment and trading style did you formulate? Were you more? Did you go down more of a trading route, or did you go down more of an investing route? What sort of mistakes as well did you make when you first started? Tell us about some of the things some of the mistakes you made back then that you would have loved to have known about.
Okay.
That you
I
know
think
now.
I think the most prominent and common, and I think it happens to everybody, is believing in any messages that come, and I have become a victim of them, telling you either want something or you are going to make a lot of money with us. And I was part of several pump and dump groups. I joined those thinking, this is it. They're making thousands here. They're making 100x here. It was at the time when Dodge was huge at the time. And closely followed by SHIB. And it was proper, a bull market, constantly something popping off.
Yeah.
And I was looking at those green candles and thinking, okay, everybody's like, somebody's making money in here. I am going to be in that group. I'm going to make that money. Only obviously to learn later on, this was totally all orchestrated. I didn't realize obviously at all at the time. I don't even know, guys, how I slept thinking that I was buying coins. I didn't know I think first thing about trading or investing or anything at all. I was just thinking, okay, everything is going up, everything is green, people are making money, it's crazy. I was going to sleep with open trades and never like thinking about my stop loss or even packing my profits, because I was thinking, yeah, we're going to the moon.
Yeah. Pure like euphoria and FOMO and hype, and
it was lack of awareness of what I was doing completely. I was just thinking I'm going to get in and make money. I never thought I was going to lose anything.
Yeah.
Totally.
I love that because I think you do get blindsided when the market is just up only, and especially when it's for months and months and months, it just becomes this normality. I think we're seeing a similar thing now with the market going down for so long. It's gone the other way around, and everyone's just, well, that's it now. It's all we're going to do is drop forever. But obviously, don't fight the trend. But at the same time, understand that it doesn't last forever, does it? And you've got to take those you've got to take profits, haven't you? You've got to take profits.
Yes.
And you've got to have that strict routine. So did you start then building and formulating a strategy where you did start to take profits? And
so then I basically put my foot down. I joined paid groups and I thought they're going to be my answer to this. Thinking those are going to, definitely make me money. I ended up spending a lot of money on memberships because I joined two. But it just seemed like anytime, there was a signal posted in the group, I was either missing the signal. And those groups were also consisting of people that already knew the crypto space,
Yeah.
and I felt completely out. There wasn't like any education in them, whatever, and I ended up following, and to this day those three people, I always highlight them as my mentors. It is the trader, that would be one of them, Traders Reality, and Coins Kid Tom.
Right, yeah. I like
and
Coins Kid, yeah. I like
and
and
along the
Trader
along
SE is good. He's good. He's actually a good trader, isn't he, as well? And he's really transparent with what he does.
yeah.
Even if he makes a bad trade, he just says, "Yeah, got it wrong."
And along the way, I also met another amazing account. He's a small account, but he's extremely helpful. And I think he also, at the end of the day, like, taught me a lot and helped me a lot. And so those 3-4 people, I kind of adapted. I spent hours watching their videos and watching their live streams, because those 3 people have a ton of material online, going back on like their old materials and basically developing
Right.
their own
So,
style.
so this is how you developed. This is how you got knowledge. Then it
Yes.
was more from. So it wasn't from the paid groups. Funnily enough,
No.
it was from actually following just transparent people.
Yes.
Experienced, transparent people.
The only thing I paid with was my own time and effort.
Yeah,
Nothing else.
I love
Time,
that.
yeah, absolutely. And I just think it is the best thing to do for yourself. And one thing that Ant actually told me when I was starting out, he said, there isn't a better way to learn, just to keep trying yourself and start drawing, start, making those mistakes. Don't be afraid. Post those charts, see what other people see, because there isn't a right or wrong.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own perspective, and you are going to learn a lot from it. And that's exactly what I did.
Love that. Love that. I was about to ask you, but you started to answer it as what advice would you give newer, less experienced people? And I love, because your content, you're really positive, and I'm a believer in surrounding myself with positive people and having that right mental attitude. And you're one of the closest people that I bounce off, because you've got exactly that. And I keep saying to people, even in 2018, it was a really bad bear market, terrible times, but being positive got us through it. And it's like the same right now. It's the same right now. And your attitude is just the best. So on that note, what advice would you give less experienced, newer investors?
I mean, first of all, like I said, there already mentioned to you there, with practicing, if you are aspiring to be a trader. And the mental health aspect of it is something that a lot of new people coming into crypto don't even realize. I actually had this conversation today in the Discord, where someone made a note and said that they didn't realize there's so many emotions in the crypto.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy.
And it was a man, and I'm not, don't mean it in at all sexist way, but I think men are just more shy to admit, about feelings.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
So kind of, definitely keep trying, but don't let failures define you. Don't let the failures to also become like your like the definition of what you're going to do next, because
I
those
love that. Yeah, I love that. Instead, you use the failure as a kind of way to motivate yourself and lift you to go on to find the solutions. And I'm a believer in all that as well.
And I just think, like, desperation and fear, the second you feel that, walk away, give yourself a space. Because it is the first mistake you're going to make is revenge trade. Put everything in, lose more than you actually ever anticipated, and just end up in a rot. So my positive attitude, it's not that I am naive, or I just think seeing positive things in everyday situations, or even like desperately bad situations, when you can just take a perspective out of it, it is something that drives me and others and helps others as well. So I like you said yourself, I love surrounding myself with positive and like-minded people. You're 100% like, this is how we found each other as well.
Yeah.
It is
We've got
super important.
a little circle, haven't we? It's like a little circle of us now. Everyone's just pushing each other, and I think
Yes.
that's really important for people to understand. Is sometimes you see people on Twitter bouncing off each other, and a lot of that is just people pushing each other because it's so hard. And like you said, then the mental aspects of this space is just. You wouldn't believe it until you've been through it. And I've got friends who started investing in crypto because they think it's easy and they think, oh, you've made money, that is easy. And now they're all pulling their hair out. They're just absolutely in disbelief. They can't actually believe. Why would people put themselves through this? It's pure mental torture.
Tino from Traders Reality, he always says this, and it's just embedded in my head. Crypto is the easiest, hardest way to make money because it is.
I love that.
It's so simple when you look at the charts, right? Okay, it goes up and down, and then all of a sudden you are sitting in there and you're going through all the turmoil, all the emotions, and you're understanding that it is not that simple. But surrounding yourself with people that will motivate you, that will push you, and pushing yourself, but not to the limits of exhaustion as well. Minding yourself, minding your headspace, 100%.
Love it. It's all mindset, isn't it? And it's also accepting that it's fine to make mistakes. I think a lot of people make mistakes and then they punish themselves or they don't learn from those mistakes. As you said, make mistakes, learn from them, move on. It's a process. It's a process, isn't it?
And what I would also add is do not fall this for this false pretense that everybody is making money in crypto space and they're sharing their crazy gains. Just remember, behind those trades, there are probably hundreds of failures and they're only showing off what they want you to see. So be realistic as well about everything.
Love that. On that note, what's your thoughts on the market? We just started dropping again today. What's your thoughts on the market? I think it's hard to say short term because anything can happen, especially when leverage trading is involved. But mid-term to long term, are you optimistic? What are your thoughts on the space in general?
I'm neither optimistic or pessimistic. I am just approaching it
level-headed.
A very level head. Currently, my strategy is a lot of research into projects that I want to invest long term. If I'm trading quick, bagging the profits, not even looking behind that. Okay, well, this kept going up higher. Whatever, make a target. Even
Don't I love that. Sorry, I'll just stop you there really quick. I love what you said there in regards to not looking back. You're so right there. It's a huge lesson because so many people get ate up by what they did and then they're not focusing on what they're going to do next. So yeah, I love that.
So, profit is profit and get that into your head, and especially right now, because we just don't know which way we're going to go, how long we're going to go that way or the other. We can go up from here, but for how long? We can go down from here for how long? So level-headed, totally, we cannot predict. We have no control over global situation, economy and all that. But we have control over how we react to our emotions and how, what we can do with that and what planning into the future just within our means, basically.
I love that. You're so right. You can't control your surroundings and environment, but you can control how you perceive that and what you're going to do with what's in front of you. Because you can make so much more of a difference to your actual to the actual results that you're going to get by actually taking a bit of a step back, thinking about it more, taking your time, rather than, as you said earlier, revenge trading, rushing in, getting emotional. And the emotions in this space are real. And I think even just opening a chart and looking at the chart, it drains you. It drains you mentally. And people are consistently I mean, I remember when I was new, we used to use Blockfolio, and we used to have this thing called Blockfolio-itis, where you
Yeah.
couldn't put it down. You couldn't put it down, and it was like that used to send you crazy. It sent you crazy, and within 6 months, normally, I've got friends who started crypto. Within 6 months, they would burn out because that Blockfolio-itis. Look at the chart
Yeah.
every day, and it's real. Like, and that's why I think it's so important to follow people like you, because you're now an influencer, aren't you? So you've worked your way right up now to helping people. You've got a little community, or a big community, should I say? And you've now got like 70,000 followers on Twitter. People look up to you. They love that positivity, and it's so true. It's priceless. It gets people through the day, and that's how important it is to stay positive. And people look up to people like you. So I really appreciate you coming on today. Have you got anything else you want to share with us about what you're doing in regards to, is it Martaverse, your
Yeah.
sort of community?
My social media, I think everywhere I went, it was Martaverse. I love the name. It's great. So you can find me. Just I always remind people to be aware of the scammers and making sure you follow the
The right
account.
one.
If you have me on Twitter, my bio has all the links in Linktree. So you're not ever falling for those DM me messages, and I would never ask anybody for money. But what I'm doing right now, guys, is staying on track with being level-headed, doing a lot of research, and being myself on social media. If you're following me,
Love it.
I
I
am
absolutely love it.
I'm doing my best for myself and for everybody.
Love it. I'll leave the links to your Twitter and YouTube channel in the description of this video. And thank you so much for coming on today, Marta. It's been an absolute pleasure. And hopefully we'll get you on again later in the year. Hopefully then the market's recovering and
Yes.
we're a bit more on the bullish side.
Thank you very much for having me. It was an absolute pleasure. Just loved Adam, yourself as well, and what you're doing with the Gem Hunters. You're amazing, guys. Keep at it. I think you also deserve a lot of credit, and in this space, people like yourself and everyone in the Gem Hunters, you are definitely people that anyone coming in new to the space should pay attention to and keep us, close.
Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Yeah, shout out to the Gem Hunters team, Indiana, Panda, Keegan, and Rogan, Yee. You know what? I could sit here listing them all day. Let's leave it at that. Thank you so much for coming today, Marta.
Thank you. Thanks.
See you later.